I believe a stable supply chain can definitely make your business hassle-free, especially HyperSKU assists not only with the private label, but also, oh, sorry, assists not only white labels, but also we can elevate your brand, your store to a private label. So let's welcome Simon, our VP of Europe Business Development, to share with us more how a smart supply chain can empower your brand building. Simon.
Cool. Thank you so much, Gisela. I hope everyone can see my screen and can hear me clearly. If not, just drop it in the chat. We're going to talk about a smart supply chain. I think you know your smartphone and you know your smartwatch, but maybe not so much about smart supply chain and how this can actually help you to build your brand. What we mean with smart is actually that it thinks along with you. It is helping you, it's preparing you, and it's actually empowering you to actually grow your business. And what we saw today so far is all about how to generate traffic, how to make sure that your brand is positioned well on social commerce. Especially it was 2.9 trillion US dollar in 2026. I think that's what recent said. You need the supply chain to be able to handle this kind of volume. And our job is actually to help online sellers to build a supply chain that is transparent, that's integrated, and that's connected and flexible. And that's what we consider as a smart supply chain. Let me see. So I'm going to discuss three things. The first thing is about integrated supply chain, how you actually get this smart supply chain. Then is from drop shipping to going into a branding business. I think that's very crucial for you to understand what are the options that I have to make that switch, the transition from drop shipping into branding. And the third thing is about what's next for drop shippers. What is going to be the trend and how can you prepare yourself for that? That's the three things that we want to discuss. I want to give you a little bit of an overview. Let's make it a little bit step back and show you what's out there. You have these big centralized platforms, Amazon, eBay, AliExpress. These ones, they're still growing, but their growth is much smaller. The largest growth is in social commerce. The decentralized platforms are leading the way. These are platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, with traffic generated on social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. The only thing that's missing is a supply chain. These tools have great ways for conversion, for generating traffic, but once you finally get the traffic, once you have the conversion, somebody needs to fulfill the order. We see that as our niche to focus on and to actually help and bring value so that our online sellers, our customers can actually grow their business and make sure that we get these 2.9 trillion. It still blows my mind, that number. It's really incredible. So how to do that? For us, the integration is key. We don't really see ourselves as a HyperSKU, as a drop shipping agent. We more see ourselves as a SaaS platform because we want to be integrated. You have your store, you connect your store with our platform, orders come in, you pay the order with us, we will purchase it, ship it to our own warehouse. And because we ship it to our own warehouse, we can add the branding. Because we are purchasing ourselves and negotiating with the supplier, we can arrange the branding for you. In this way, we have much more control about the supply chain. We can help you that your brand is not only visible online on your store, but actually also on the product. And for you, that's even transparent. You can see it yourself. You can see the flow. You can see when it's shipped out, what the status is, whether it's paid, not paid. So all that is happening. And around that, we have a team that is communicating with you on a daily basis. So whenever you're still doubting or have a question about things that are in your in the app, you can ask the question to one of our team members that speaks multiple languages. So you actually have a really customized and localized experience. We really believe in this kind of solution because we think that it's something that is not there or not sufficiently created. When it comes to the branding part, how to move from drop shipping into branding, we see that a lot of the drop shippers, they start first with testing until they find a winning product. Then you have the winning product, you want to transfer that into a brand because a brand name sticks. Of course, a video sticks, But with the video normally comes also a brand that you want people to remember so they can look you up and buy more products. So from having a winning product going into branding, you're looking for other products that you can brand with it. Of course, important things around that are your packaging. For example, you can add a thank you card. You can add a logo sticker. If you don't have the quantity yet, you can add a logo sticker to each product. We can help you arrange with the supplier. We can do it in our own warehouse. And you have the customized packaging, product packaging or the shipping packaging. These are two very different things. I want you to think about that for a second. Product packaging, you have a product, you have a packaging where you put the product in, and you have the shipping packaging, which can be a bag, a shipping bag where you put the product in, or a shipping box. These are two different things. Both can be branded. This already gives the consumer an experience that it arrives in their home. They can feel already that it's from a brand. They can feel the experience. You can leave your personal note in there, so they can be excited as well about the product that they've been waiting for. I want to give you, because these are all nice. I mean, you see the HyperSKU logo, but of course, it's not about putting the HyperSKU logo on your products. This is just as an example for you, so you can see what it would look like. But maybe it's better to go one step further, which is a case study. One of our customers has done that. I want to give you a little bit of idea for the options. It's always better to see it to actually believe it. I put a few examples. So you see here the before. This is basically from the supplier and how to brand it. So for example, when it comes to branding, think about putting a logo here, maybe adding some color elements that fits with your brand image. That's what we've done. Here's like a massage ball where you can also, this is before, and then you have a logo added to the product, or the packaging. So here's like an example of the packaging. This is before. So there's no branding. It's just a standard leaflet that's put in there. You can customize it as a nice thank you card, business card, customized instructions, box. So you can give it much more feeling. Even the outside of the box has a logo on top to be able to do that. Then the manual, which you can do in multiple languages, you can consider. So this is the before manual. This is it upgraded with logo, with other text, and also multilingual. And then there's a product packaging. So this is the product packaging. This is the before, where you can, of course, you can consider the simple way to just add a logo sticker, put something on top of the box, but you can also fully customize it. And you're probably thinking, if I'm going to do all this, it's going to cost me a ton of money. And this is something that I want to give you this tip, because if you want to talk about a smart supply chain, you need to be very smart about your expenses as well. In some cases, it's not even needed to buy thousands of pieces to do branding. You can do hundreds of pieces or maybe even less. It's all up to us to find that supplier that works with you. But also for your cash flow, you can decide to, for example, okay, I'm first going to want to buy 100 pieces. Once it's finished, let's say my stock is to 20, I will buy more. I will do another batch of 100. Or I see this moving fast, I want to do another 200. So you can also break down your batches. We see also customers of ours who say, I want to buy 1,000 pieces, 500 pieces I put in China warehouse, in your warehouse, 500 pieces I ship to my overseas warehouse, so I can leverage my shipping times and my consumer experience. Also fine, you separate the costs by splitting up the stock in purchasing or in shipping. And this will be really a huge advantage you can do. The second one is to think about, you don't have to buy everything at once. You can, for example, say, I want to buy the shipping packages, so these shipping bags, but I don't want to buy the products yet. The shipping bags are much cheaper than the product. You also, the product packaging, you can buy already in advance, so you can get a better price for the packaging, but it's not packaged yet with the product inside. So you can still buy in batches and still get that brand experience that you want to promote on your social media. And one thing I really want to make clear, because having these shipping bags is great. It's better to buy a larger size one, because if you're selling multiple products, you can just put it in and you can fold the top and then it still fits. If you have the size of the bag is too small, then you might be able to fit only one product, but maybe you have an order of two. And then again, you lose the opportunity. if you want to do the perfect packaging with branded packaging and everything, you have to realize that when you do that, the product is going to be heavier. If you use a carton, the product is going to be heavier. The shipping is going to be heavier, which means the shipping cost will become more as well. It's good to realize it, because always when you do about being smart about the products and the brands you want to build, really consider about what's the size, what's the weight, how can I make this still an experience purchase without me paying too much for it. That balance needs to be in place. So I hope these 2 tips at least will help you to get a better understanding about the supply chain, because these are very small details, but it will definitely help you in your cash flow and also in your costs itself. I want to share the 3rd thing that I want to share with you. What we see as a change that you need to know so that you can prepare yourself for that. We see the shift. Before you have a manufacturer, somebody goes to the manufacturer, says, I want to buy 1,000 pieces. When can it be ready? What's your price? I'll give you the order. They start the production. It's produced, it's shipped out, and it ends up in the consumer's hand. So if you do that, then you have a supply chain. But the supply chain is pushed by someone who's placing the order to the supplier. They have control of how many pieces they're going to buy and for what price. The shift that we see is the change to a demand chain, which means, and this is perfect for you guys because it's purely social driven and very drop shipping based, a consumer buys something without having a supplier yet or having the stock yet. The consumer buys, you promote it, you get more orders, and you're looking for a supplier along the way. What we see is that once there's a shortage, the supplier's power goes up. The supplier can then decide, who am I going to sell the products to? We see that the shift when it comes to social commerce, the power of the suppliers is growing. They will get more and more control over what prices, what quantity, and how it's being handled. That means that if you want to have a smart supply chain, you need to be integrated with the suppliers. The suppliers need to know or understand your strategy so that they are aware and prepared of orders that might come. We already see this in China, this within China, so placing an order from a Chinese home to a store and delivered to your home, it's already there. That supply chain is already very smart. For cross-border, not so much yet. But this is a trend that we're seeing, which means for you that when you start promoting sales or starting running ads, we want to scale something, make sure that you are checking with the supplier or with us and make us aware that you're going to run a promotion so we can negotiate, so we can prepare, and you don't miss out on that momentum. You can even decide to buy a little bit of a stock so you can actually leverage already and have still the fast delivery. Because it would be a pity if you're going to get thousands of orders, but no supply. Be aware that this change is coming, that the suppliers will be deciding more and more what products are being sold, what is available for you. We will do our best to manage that, but the trend is coming. And why this fits well in this trend, if you still have doubt about it, this means you have the order before you actually purchase. We need to integrate the supply chain from beginning to end, from negotiating, from purchasing, from shipping it to a warehouse, from fulfilling the order, shipping it out to the consumer, and the delivery. All that chain needs to be managed so that everyone is aligned. You cannot just ship one day 100 parcels and the next day 100,000 parcels. You need to also manage that on your resources. Having the online sales is still going to grow. So there's no doubt with all of us here in this call that online sales is going to drop. We all work remotely, or most of us work remotely. We have a side hustle. We can kickstart a model. If you're familiar with Kickstarter model, basically you promote a product, you get people ready to purchase in advance. You maybe have already 500 orders, and then you buy a batch of 500. You still have the time, no have delay. And this is very driven by social media and the trends, which has been discussed, and the flexibility that has been created by having the supply chain well integrated and smart is something that will be in your advantage, because none of the retailers in the world, I mean, I've done B2B sourcing for retailers all over Europe, and we normally were buying winter jackets in the summer. because they're going to sell it in the winter. So sometimes you already have 8 months to 10 months lead time for retailers. If you're an online seller, you don't have that lead time. You can just sell whatever is trending and whatever is hot. So hope that helps. Our slogan is actually you focus on your brand, we take off the rest. You basically decide on your marketing, you build your store, you select the products, and we make that a reality. That's our job. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at hypersku.com on all social media channels, or and just reach out, start a conversation. For us, it always is start a conversation, then we can help you. We know if we want to be an extension of you, there needs to be a conversation. Hope that helps, and I'm now open to questions.
Hey, Simon. I think
Hey.
there were some questions being asking in Q&A, and I think you already specify of doing branding thing, but customers still are asking the customized packaging and also thank you cards. Can you explain more in detail of this?
Yeah, we can help you. I mean, we don't do the design. Our job is not to be the design how you want your brand. So you need to come up with your own design, but there's so many resources to do that. You can go to Fiverr, Upwork, or you already find someone in a Facebook group. For us, it's about the execution. You have a design and now need to make the reality. So we need to get the packaging done, but the packaging also depends on the size, on the drawings, and all these kind of things. So for us, it's more about the execution. But once you know how you want it, we're definitely going to think along. And some suppliers actually are very helpful, and they can put the logo just on the packaging, or they can help us with that, but not in all cases. So for us, it's more about being your execution on the branding itself.
Okay. So next one will be the question from seller. He would like to know the shipping time to Germany.
Yeah, at the moment, so we calculate the shipping time from our China warehouse, because that's when we get a tracking number. That's when it starts. That's not to Germany. We have different shipping methods. Currently, it's about 6 to 8 days from our warehouse. If you use a fast shipping method, 6 to 8 days. I think UK is now is our fastest destination, which is even 5 to 7 days from our warehouse. So you have to realize from our warehouse means if you don't have the stock, you need to add 1 to 3 days for the product to be purchased, sent to our warehouse, packed, and ready to ship out.
Okay, can you see the question from?
Yeah, so the other question from Salah is, it means we don't need an agent anymore. Well, the definition of an agent is very wide. So for us, we consider you as an extension. We are an extension for the sellers. Some people call that being an agent. But for us, it's more about if we know what you are looking for and how you want to handle your store, we can support you. We don't do customer service to your customers, but we do definitely have support teams that are direct contact with your customer service team or with your virtual assistant. So we try to integrate as much as possible, working with your Google Docs, working with your Slack groups, so that we are become part of your team. And for us, that's, if you call it an agent, maybe we consider ourselves, as an extension. Some people call it an agent. Yeah, so it's the definition.
Okay, I think for last questions, and we can answer the branding idea from Shahin.
Yeah, sure.
He likes the branding idea. Yes.
How is that? So I like the branding idea. How is it effectively shipping and the shipping time? How does it affect the shipping time? I understand the HyperSKU will buy it, receive it, ship it. Won't affect the shipping time. Do you recommend that I buy a few items first? How about quality checking? Yeah, so for the branding part, when it comes to a thank you card or sticker, it normally takes about 7 days to get it into our warehouse. And once it's there, it can be used until it's finished. You can see in our system when it's almost finished. Same if you do branded packaging. If you want to purchase a product from a supplier with a branded product, a branded packaging, then normally you will have an MOQ, 100 pieces or 100 pieces. Normally it starts from there. Then that will be moved to our warehouse. And from once it's in a warehouse, then we suggest you to start promoting it. If you promote it in advance, there might be a delay. But normally the lead time is around 7 to 10 days for these kind of productions to be able to have it available. therefore, it's very important to keep track of how many are still in stock so that you can actually say, okay, I see 50 are left. I'm going to place a new order so that I win time and don't have too much delay. So the planning and the alignment is very important when you do branding, but there's definitely a efficiency that you can get. The shipping time doesn't have to be impacted if you're prepared.
Okay, so for other questions, Simon will reply later by context. Okay. Okay, thank you, Simon.